My trans teacher threw me into a wall for choosing math over propaganda, so I threw a lawsuit in her face. Most kids worry about failing math class, but I had to worry about my math teacher treating equations like hate crimes. Ms. Blackwood arrived mid-semester with glowing recommendations and immediately trashed our previous teacher's lesson plans. During her first week, she handed back our quiz on quadratic equations, except it wasn't about math at all. The questions asked us to explore how mathematical variables perpetuate binary thinking and discuss the colonial origins of algebra. My friend Alistair had actually solved equations thinking it was some kind of trick question. He got a 0 with "missed the point" scrawled across the top. 2 months before SATs, things got worse. Parents started hiring private tutors because we hadn't learned a single math concept all semester. When Ms. Blackwood found out, she called a mandatory class meeting. She stood at the front with tears in her eyes and accused us of committing violence against her teaching philosophy. Then she assigned a 5-page essay on why standardized testing was oppressive. A classmate's dad, who worked 2 jobs to pay for her college prep, personally went to the principal. The response he got was, "Your daughter needs to be more open-minded." The day before SATs, Ms. Blackwood burst through the door carrying a rainbow flag instead of our practice tests. She announced that today we'd be discussing decolonizing mathematics. My stomach dropped. This was supposed to be our final review day. I muttered under my breath, "Will we ever actually learn math?" The room went dead silent. Ms. Blackwood's head snapped toward me. "Who said that?" My legs shook as I stood up. "I just want to learn actual math. The SAT is literally tomorrow." Her face went purple. "You're an enemy of progress." She stormed over and grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. She yanked me from my seat and dragged me toward the door. "Let go!" I shouted, but she shoved me into the hallway. I stumbled and my face smashed into the doorframe with a crack. Pain exploded through my mouth. I felt the sharp edge where my front tooth had chipped. I stood there shaking from complete shock. A teacher had just physically assaulted me for asking to learn math. The nurse's hands trembled as she held ice to my mouth. She kept apologizing and whispering that she had called my parents. When my mom burst into the nurse's office and saw the blood on my shirt, she went completely silent. Dad arrived in his work suit, took one look at my chipped tooth, and we went straight to the principal's office. The principal wouldn't even meet our eyes. "These things happen. Your son provoked the teacher." Mom's voice cracked. "All he did was ask to learn math, but the principal kept repeating the same thing." We left and went home. That's when my phone buzzed. Beatrice from class had texted me. I recorded the whole thing. She sent the video showing Ms. Blackwood grabbing me and shoving me into the doorframe completely unprovoked. Dad immediately called his law firm partner, who specialized in education law. The private lawsuit moved quickly once Dad's partner saw the video. His eyes widened as he watched Ms. Blackwood assault me on the small phone screen. "This is damning evidence," he said, replaying it 3 times. "The assault is clear, but the principal's cover-up attempt makes this a much bigger case." During her deposition, Ms. Blackwood sat across from us in a beige conference room, her lawyer whispering frantically in her ear. She tried claiming I discriminated against her, but when pressed to explain how asking to learn math justified physical assault, she just stammered and looked at her hands. Her lawyer kept objecting, but the questions kept coming. The principal had to admit under oath that multiple parents had complained about the lack of actual math instruction. He shifted in his seat, sweat beading on his forehead, as he confessed he dismissed every single complaint without investigation. The school's insurance company representatives looked horrified as more evidence piled up. They huddled in the corner during a break, clearly calculating the potential damages. Within a week, they forced a massive settlement to avoid trial. The number made my parents gasp, but the biggest victory came when Ms. Blackwood, faced with potential criminal charges for assault, agreed to surrender her teaching license. She signed the papers with shaking hands, her teaching career officially over. Even the principal announced his early retirement the next day. She quietly left town and moved to Oregon. Last I checked her social media, she was doing wellness coaching and selling crystals online, still posting vague things about being persecuted by the education system, but never able to say why she couldn't teach anymore.